Harry Potter, by the way, is officially the most successful movie franchise ever as far as money grossing is concerned. Congratulations to Warner Brothers and J.K. Rowling. That's a number that The Hunger Games, no matter how successful it is, won't top because at most it will be 4 movies, not 8. So no harm there. But the question is, can The Hunger Games do as well as Harry Potter, film for film? Let's go to Pauline first on this one. Pauline, what do you think? Do you have those kinds of expectations?
I mean, I would love to think that it would, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like Harry Potter is in a class of its own. And, I mean, I think that The Hunger Games can be very successful, but to actually beat Harry Potter, I don't, or like at least, you know, comparatively, I don't think so. But, I mean, I'd love to be proved wrong. I'm not sure, though.
No, that's great. I just want to ask, because she may be on the line, Kit Bowen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hi.
Hi, Kit, just in time. Okay, great. I wasn't sure if Kit was going to be able to make it.
It's my birthday
today. I know
today,
it's your birthday today.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you.
That's all right. Better late than never on your birthday, for sure. And it worked out perfectly because we pushed the discussion for the final moments here so you could be featured. For those of you who don't know Kit Bowen is quite a figure in the Hollywood world. She not only writes with us sometimes at Picktainment, she has her own website, The Movie Kit, right? Is it themoviekit.com?
Movie Kit. That's it, yep.
And she pals around with some pretty big people. She was at the Oscars last year, among other things.
I work for Kit, yeah.
Right, and you used to work for Hollywood.com also, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
So, in fact, I should point out my French roommate who hates the epilogue just walked in that we were talking about. Hopefully she'll listen to the podcast and change her mind. I'm working on it because I think that the whole nation of France has lost their sense of romance, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So she's giving me the eye. All right. So, Kit, with your box office expertise, first of all, what are your thoughts on what Harry Potter did this weekend?
I'm not surprised. I'm not at all surprised. I mean, you know, we did have that conversation on Friday on people, would they go see it again, which has sort of been the MO of the Harry Potter films is that, you know, people go see them the opening weekend, but then it tapers off because people just don't go see them again. But I think because this is the very last one and the fact that everyone was just, you know, so wanted to see it, wanted to relive it, you know, and I think people keep wanting to go back to see it again because they just don't want it to be over. I mean, I think it's more than just the film itself. It's sort of just the end of the entire saga of Harry Potter. And so I'm not at all surprised it did what it did. And I think it's going to continue to make money for at least the next, you know, 6 weeks or so. I'm sure it's going to be way on top there. So look for it to probably be, I don't know if it's going to beat Avatar, but, you know, I think it's probably going to get close.
Yeah, no, it's really amazing. But don't you think maybe there could be a similar sentimentality for the Hunger Games when all's said and done? The last film. I would think that the Hunger Games I'm going to equate it more with the Twilight movies, because which has done very well. We should point out. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think the first Hunger Games is going to be the real factor. If everyone is loving it as much as they've loved the books, and if they do it correctly, then I think it's going to gain that momentum. Because the first Twilight movie, although there were thousands and thousands of Twilight fans out there who'd read the books, but they didn't really have a whole lot of. I don't think they had a lot of faith in that first movie. I mean, I don't think they realized what they had until after the entire blow up after it. And they went, oh, okay, I guess it really does hit a chord here. So I have a feeling that's the way the Hunger Games is going to be. It's probably going to be one of those things where, the first movie is going to really make or break the series. And if they do it correctly, which it seems like they are, I mean, the cast, we talked about that too, about how you thought the casting was right and everything. So as long as they get it right the first time, I think it's going to just keep building and building. I don't think it's going to be like Harry Potter, because Harry Potter already had such a ginormous following by the time the movies came out. I mean, you know, when they were trying to cast Harry and, you know, looking for the unknown actor to play him, I mean, that was just huge news for months and months, trying to find who's going to be Harry Potter, who's going to be Harry Potter. I mean, it's just, there was already a built-in phenomenon just from the books. So I think Hunger Games is going to be more like Twilight, in my opinion.
One thing to me that's about the...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that, you know, I wanted to point out one similarity that Twilight has with Hunger Games is budget, a much lower budget than Harry Potter is used, because it really doesn't require the same level of special effects. So even if Hunger Games doesn't quite gross as much as Harry Potter, Lionsgate may still turn just as much of a profit based on cost expended, and that's something we can go into more. But Savanna, go ahead and ask your question, and we'll go.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I mean, from day one, I've been saying that I think that the Hunger Games will absolutely be bigger than Twilight for sure, and I think that because it's very different from Twilight in the sense that it has a much broader market. You know, most of the people rushing out to see the Twilight films are young, mostly women. Whereas The Hunger Games, yes, it is a young adult series, and it has a lot of young fans, but it's also so much a political piece. You know, it's going to be a very dramatic, action-packed film, and I think that tons of adults who may not have read the series will go and see the movie because, you know, the storyline compels them, and I don't see that happening with Twilight at all.
Well, that's true, too. I mean, Twilight, you're right about, I was going to say, Savannah, you're right about the demographics of Twilight. It's definitely more female. And I think Hunger Games sort of runs both demographics, male and female. I think
so, too.
Guys are just as into it. So that's good. Teenage boys, you know, love to go see movies like this kind of, you know, like a Hunger Games. And they'll go and they'll go and they'll go. So that will probably bode well for it, you know, for the first film.